back home, family and friends watching Ben. It's disappeared from our Twitter list. It appeared about an hour and a half ago just after his last race. I've been saving it up, and of course it's disappeared now, the message from Twitter for some reason. But we know that they're watching and listening in Canada, hoping that Ben does as well as he did in the earlier race. We talked about all that great experience from Cristiano Morgado, Ben Cooper, and Great Guns in Portugal, winning the title in Dubai 2 years prior to that, or years prior to that as well. So he's going to be on the third row of the grid, Ken.
Yeah, hi to Ben Senior, Ben's dad, if you tuned in, to Sharon, his mum, to all of our friends in Canada, Michelle, up there in the Mont Tremblant territory, and over in the far west in British Columbia, in BC, Vancouver, if you tuned in, hi to Don and Dorothy Choker, our Canadian friends, glad to have you tuning in and joining us in spirit online.
Okay then, how's that rain doing? It's looking at the puddle outside. It's still raining, but very, very lightly now. Certainly nowhere near as thunderous as it was earlier. Well, it's backing them all up, aren't they? Gendarua and Jordan Lennox-Lamb almost stopping the field there, coming out of the hairpin. So that's definitely bunched them up anyway. And they've got 2 corners to run now before they gun it. They're supposed to keep them together, not until they get to the yellow line, supposed to really gun it. And that run up towards the start-finish line. Otherwise, even though they're tightly packed into the corner, they'll spread out on the way out of the corner, and everybody at the back of the field will be given much more of a disadvantage than they should be. It's a very slow formation lap this. Back to seniors. So in
fairness, actually, Chris, the flag marshals were still saying keep it down, weren't they? And Zen had got them all at walking pace.
He stopped almost, haven't they, for a chat? Right, here they come. I think they're about to come and do your first time start here. It's all set. Light box goes out, red lights go out, and away we go. Good start for Sandro Lukovic, the Austrian driver, trying to go around the outside there. They all go side by side through the first turn and make it through safely. Zendarua is there in the lead of the race. It's tight for second place though, and we got side by side action there, and into second place has come the 661 car of Jordan Lennox-Lamb. He was under attack from Andreas Batman. Andreas had his nose in front through the first couple of turns, and now he's got his nose in front in that battle for second again, because hitting a big old puddle was Jordan Lennox-Lamb coming out of turn 6, didn't he, Ken?
Went in at a very strange angle. It may have been trying to avoid the water, but got that very wrong. I thought that Jordan Lennox-Lamb had repaired the damage of a poor start from the off-pole position. Got to do it again now, but he's in third place. It's a 10-lap race.
There he is, the British driver, who's coming to... Oh, he's gone down the inside there. He's got second place. Has he kept it, though?
It's gone back.
Seen that a couple of times today, haven't we? Yeah.
Chipping in with you, but we're seeing these tradings of positions.
One off on the grass there, yellow flags
bottom
waving.
Of our screen.
Yeah, we've seen that a few times. People diving down the inside into the hairpin. Looks good, looks spectacular. Then they bog down, lose the momentum, and lose the place again on the way out of the corner. Zendarua absolutely flying at the end of the first lap. He's well clear. They're all running right behind. It's side by side for second place. Sandro Lukovic is going to get up the inside. He's got second position away now from Jude Vershis, who's got up there. Sherma's in the mix as well. Andreas Batman's fallen back to 7th place, having run high up early on. So he's dropped right down the order, I'm afraid. Ben Cooper's down in 20th place, and Lennox-Lamb has not come through. Lennox-Lamb did not come through. Where's that happened then? There's a yellow flag waving there in the foreground. We can't see who's off, but I bet that's Jordan Lennox-Lamb's kart. Yeah, going very slowly at the foot of the back straight. So that looks like Lennox-Lamb has stopped. Chamsy Germain is at the back as well.
Somebody was the victor. How do I say this? Seamus Judovicius is a great guy, 2 meters tall, but he's got very sharp elbows. And I think somebody got themselves 4 wheels off the tarmac on a little skirmish with Seamus. And I just wonder if that was Jordan, and that may have been the aftermath. He did go through, but I think that may have been why the distance between himself and Lennox-Lamb not having completed the full circuit.
We're quite impressed that Sean Babington won the previous race by 4.5 seconds. Gendarua was 4.5 seconds clear at the end of the first lap, but helped by the fact that everybody else was so busy finding themselves. So Darua leads. Jude Vershis is in second place in kart 663. Sandro Lukovic, the Austrian, going well in third position. In fourth place at 662, Piccioni, and then 615, Mario Sherma running in fifth place. Vuillaume is sixth. Batman has got back up to seventh place now. Patrick Pierce, fourth in last year's championship, has moved up a place. He's into eighth position. Dennis Kroos is the leading Masters driver. He said he likes the wet conditions, and he's in the top 10. He's in 9th place in kart 746, 2 places clear of the reigning Masters champion Christoph Adams, Ken.
Yeah, it's a strange meeting for Christoph Adams. I'm just wondering if we're going to see one of those Jekyll and Hyde performances from Chris Adams. He isn't particularly impressive today. Of course, you've said it several times already, Chris, the championship points are scored on the Sunday. I just wonder if we shall see a different Chris Adams tomorrow. Remains to be seen. Leaders setting off on lap 4, and the margin is up to 3.1 seconds, and it's another 3 seconds before Sandro Lukovic is reaching out to Seamus Judovershis. Piccioni, the Italian, 4th, drives a lot of WSK and CIK championships, was driving a WSK championship last weekend. Schirmer, the German, 5, Damian Viome, 6, Andreas Bachmann, 7, Paddy P, 8, Dennis Kroos, 9, and Chris Adams, 10. And Dennis Kroos and Chris Adams are now together on track, and I'll just try and look for them because at the end of that previous lap there was only 0.8 of a second between them. Dennis Kroos 746, Chris Adams 700. We're on lap 4 of a 10-lap race for groups A and D in DD2s.
Okay then, Darua leading, but the margin coming down all the time because Judovershis has been quick all day, as a second quicker on that previous lap. So he was 4.5 seconds clear at the end of lap 1, Darua. It's only 3.1 seconds now, only 3.1 seconds, but relatively. The gap coming down a lot as it come down again. Darua puts in his best lap of the race so far, but he's again a second slower than Judovershis, so the gap's down to 1.9 seconds now. Through turn 3 into turn 4 they come. Darua on the curbs, same for Judovershis in the 663 car, and very much the Lithuanian Sebastian Lukovic is closing in the gap. Lukovic on his own in 3rd place, 4th and 5th the nose to tail as well. Antonio Piccioni has got Marcel Schirmer right on his tail, the German driver. Not quite as quick on the exit to the back straight though. The next 2 karts running through your shot, those 2 are 4th and 5th, and that gap between them is only about 2 or 3 tenths of a second. There's the leader then, Darua, on the way into the hairpin, but he's been caught all the time here by Judovershis, and the Lithuanian has been taking a second a lap out of the race leader. I think Sandro Lukovic is in danger of being caught by this battle for 4th place as well, isn't he, between Piccioni and Schirmer. And also with very good pace at the moment is Patrick Pearce in 6th position. He is one of the quickest drivers out there.
Yeah, Paddy Pearce is one of those guys who can go through stages of a meeting unnoticed, but then when you blink is suddenly at the sharp end, and that applies when we get round to Sunday's championship point scoring races. Paddy Pearce having said that, is just drifted a little bit, but still done a 69.2, which is quicker than anybody else other than the front 2 of Senderuva and Seamus Judovershis. Just having a look at no change of place in the top 10 other than Ben Cooper, who I think you first spotted way outside the top 20 or on the edge of the top 20, is now into the top 10. Ben Cooper drives into the top 10, kart number 628. Best of the Masters now, Chris Adams is in front of Dennis Kroos. So Chris Adams leads in Masters, 11th on track. Dennis Kroos 2nd in Masters, 13th on track. And it's the Frenchman Sébastien Parmentier 3rd in Masters, 18th on track.
And Jordan Lennox-Lamb has got going again, but he's a lap down. So Jordan Lennox-Lamb, he's out there, but he's 21st, only ahead of Maxi Fleischmann, who's out of the race. So just trying to pick up a couple of extra positions if he can in the second half of the race. 6 laps complete now for the race leader, and the gap is down to just over half a second. Darua has almost been caught now by Seamus Judovershis, and Judovershis is much quicker coming out through turn 5, through turn 6 they come now into the right-hander. Look at this. This is the battle for the lead of the race. Straight through your camera shot. And they're about to go down the back straight. Is Judovershis going to have a go here? He's going to have a look round the outside. But the inside line is covered by Darua, 3rd in last year's championship. Fastest in dry qualifying yesterday. Can he hold on to the lead of the race? They're side by side again. Judovershis having a big go here, challenging the Belgian driver. They're absolutely together on the way to the hairpins now. Big wide sweeping line for the challenger. He'll try and cut back. It's a quicker line, but Darua is just holding on to it for the time being. Through the left-hand hairpin he comes. They're about to come back towards the end of another lap, towards the end of lap number 7 of 10. And they're come through. Has it changed? I think it might have done. And Judavertius has done it. He's gone through. Gendarua is dropped back to second place. And so we've got a new race leader. Judavertius, 7/10 of a second clear. He's only just got the lead of the race. Darua can't do anything about that, can you, Ken, when somebody's that much quicker than you?
And in all honesty, the body language was, I am coming past you. And it's a very physical presence, but and in fact, he's just as physically present, as it were, with nobody to pass. A guy who certainly got the bit between his teeth, and as Chris Hartley said, so much quicker. He's just done a 67.9 against Zendaruva's 69.2. Earlier on, Seamus Judavicius did a 67.70. Fastest driver on the circuit by a big margin, and not surprisingly, on lap 8, he leads the race. So, 2.5 laps remaining. We move into the final quarter, and Seamus Judavicius looking to consolidate this position at the front. Zendaruva will feel a little bit sore. I know that he takes it personally when somebody goes past him. And just looking at the handling of the carts, Seamus Judavicius has got the setup that he needs. This is the start of lap 9, and his margin has gone up, Chris, to 1.8 seconds just in that lap alone.
Amazing. No, he's done this earlier on today as well. He's just so quick. I'm not sure we've seen anybody else in the 1:07 in these conditions, and he is flying. And I think Gendarua thinks to himself, well, you're so much quicker, I can't do anything about you. I'll take second place, and well clear of the rest of the field. Sandro Lukovic doing a good job in third position. Piccioni can't hold on to him in fourth place. Ben Cooper, by the way, started 6th. In dramas in the first lap, fell to 20th. And he's now back up to 7th place. So Ben Cooper up to 7th place. He is quicker than everybody except for the race leader. So he's the second quickest driver on circuit in the low 1:08. He's got a 4-second gap to try and make up now to Patrick Pearce, but he is 1.3 seconds a lap quicker. So he's got half a chance, only 2 laps to go, but he might yet get ahead of Patrick Pearce and get into the top 6, so back to where he started. And I think we're very satisfied if he could do that. Race leader comes through then to begin the final lap of the race. I don't think who's going to win this is in any doubt whatsoever, because Judavicius has not put a wheel wrong in this race. We'll just see whether Ben Cooper can pick up any more places late on. Sandro Lukovic over the line in third place. There are the 2 leaders on your picture. That's the sort of advantage they've got there. Running out of turn 1 is third. There's 4th. There's 5th. There's Ben Cooper in 7th place now. He is catching up. Quite a phenomenal rake, Patrick Pearce. He's 1.3 seconds a lap quicker. I think he's going to run out of time there to get into the top 6, Ken.
Yeah, these 2 British guys been with us from a very early stage, as I say. They're in March 2004. Cooper made his debut in the series. In May 2004, Paddy Pearce made his debut in the series. They started off in juniors. They were pretty good then. Ben Cooper, I remember, had to go to hospital with an arm injury on that very first event. He told me it's all part of the Cooper curse, but hey, what a career he's had. But Chris, our race is going to be won by the tall Lithuanian. The checkered flag is out, and Seamus Judavicius wins it. Doesn't punch his hand in the air, just raises his fingers to acknowledge the flag. Zendaruva coming home in 2nd place. Sandro Lukovic, who it's good to see him returning to form. It really is, in 3rd place. Antonio Piccioni coming home in 4th place. Schirmer, the German, Marcel Schirmer, driving the CRG for Kart Sport Klim, was 5th. Paddy Pearce 6th. Ben Cooper 7. Damien Viome 8. And there was a lot of changes in the order of the Masters. And at the end of the race, in the 10th lap, Dennis Kroos had come home 9th, first of the Masters. Andreas Bachmann, a DD2 Open driver, was 10th. 11th was Chris Adams. So Dennis Kroos wins the Masters category in 9th place. Chris Adams 2nd in 11th place and 3rd in Masters, and she had some issues. It was Tam Germain, finished 18th on track, but 3rd in the Masters. Good race, even if we're seeing exhibition drivers by guys who've just got the setup right and just doing everything as if to teach a lesson to others.
Yes, Seamus Judavicius has been phenomenal today. There's the result. And that is the Lithuanian's 2nd win of the day. And what a dominant win it was as well. Bearing in mind that Zendaruva led the first 4 or 5 laps of the race, but good result for Gent. They're in second place for the Belgian. Third, Sandro Lukovic. Fourth, the Italian Antonio Piccioni. The Italians doing well today. As I think I said yesterday, you get drivers that do the whole Euro Challenge, but you do at each country get drivers that just want to do their home race. We had lots of Belgians at Genk. We got quite a lot of Italians today. And Antonio Piccioni for the Gold Kart Racing team going very well. The Gold Kart Racing team had troubles at Genk and had to pull out after the first day of competition. But it's good to see them back here and going well. Marcel Schirmer, the German driver, in 5th. Patrick Pearce in 6th place. Ben Cooper 7th, but remember he recovered, having been down in 20th place at the end of the first lap. Damien VM, the French driver's looking pretty solid today. They're in 8th place. Dennis Kroos in 9th place was the leading Masters driver. Andreas Backman, the Swedish driver, coming home in 10th place. Christoph Adams, last year's Masters champion, 11th. Andrei Stepanov, one of our Russian drivers, in 12th place. Sturken, Annalisa Dreyspring, Steiner, Montfort, Van Rensburg, Tamsin Germain, Sebastian Parmentier, and then Jordan Lennox Lamb, the other finishers. Jordan down in 20th place, started on the front row, don't forget, but got into dramas early on in the race. Right, so we've got Tamsin Germain, I believe, who's down in the pit lane. She's just finished 18th in that race. She was the runner-up in last year's Masters Championship, and she's speaking to Sarah Dryhurst.
Well, I'm here with Tamsin Germain, who started off in 12th and then fell back to 21st. Tamsin, what happened?
We just can't seem to get the setup right, really, and it just seemed really slippery everywhere. Then I just couldn't really find any grip, so we're struggling a little bit in the wet, to be honest. I prefer it to be dry if possible.
21st, you then came down to 18th. That's where you finished. You're 3rd in the Masters.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to try and do my best. If the next one's wet, then we've got a few other things that we can try and see what happens, but I'll just have to wait and see, I think.
So you've got a couple of options then ahead. So looking forwards, you're going to start pushing on those, working those out and seeing what the setup's like. As you said, you'd prefer it if it was dry. It has actually stopped raining here at the moment, but it's still a lot of standing water out there.
Yeah, I mean, there's some really big puddles on some of the corners, so you sort of hit those and you sort of aquaplane off. But yeah, I mean, I spun sort of once on my own and got a little bit, sort of off the track, a bit leery, but it's not great conditions.
On a lighter note, tell me a bit about your gloves. Tamsin is supporting some bright blue. Are they marigolds?
Yeah, I'm afraid they are.
Are they keeping your hands dry there? Are they working?
No, they're actually done. They've done the trick, actually, because my other ones have got a bit of a hole in one of them, so I needed that to keep it dry.
Hear that, guys? Get your marigolds on. Back to you.
Thanks very much. Well, marigolds, it doesn't matter. Fashion statement. Main thing is to try and get your hands dry and warm, isn't it? Good idea. And good to hear from Tamsin Germain. Tamsin Nee, Tamsin Chittenden, whose sister Tiffany also races, also done some presenting with the championship in recent times. And their father, Mike Chittenden, a very experienced racer himself, used to race in the British Saloon Car Championship, or as you might know these days, the British Touring Car Championship. Still goes out racing every now and again when he can, in various historic categories. So Tamsin Germain, good to hear from her
and
there.
Making the podium in those historic races,
yes.
Mike Chittenden. So still got his finger on the button.
Yes, he's still a very quick driver. Last time I saw him at Brands Hatch a few weeks ago, he had all sorts of car troubles, but it belittled his talent. Very quick driver, Mike Chittenden, and he's passed a lot of that on to his 2 daughters. So we move back now to seniors. If you're watching online at RGMMC TV, very quickly to talk you through the next few races.